Greetings, vinyl community. It is I. You might remember me from such videos as Vinyl Finds, Vinyl Finds 2, Vinyl Finds 256, and several travelogues around the world. That's all I have right now. It's been a while, again, but hey, it's quality over quantity, which I'm going to say to myself today. Today, we're actually literally going to go until I either finish the pile, I'm sick of hearing myself talk, which you will rather quickly, or I pass out from exhaustion. Either or. Today's stuff is all the vinyl finds I've had that I couldn't show you last video, stuff that I've picked up recently. What else? And in order to get a video maybe that's not 2 hours, I don't know. I weeded out like 100, 125 records. I don't know why. Just, do you need to see another Police record or Blondie record? I like them. Do you need to see it? It's debatable. Cheers, everyone. Once again, it's good to kind of see everyone. Virtually see everyone. Cheers. So today, it's going to be a little bit of an awkward one because I have so many records here. As you're going to see, it doesn't start with quality and then it gets to crap. It's just, I tried to group the bands together as best I could. They're all here. So you might be jumping from artist and then 5 minutes later, the artist appears again. This is just, I want to show you all my video. I want to show you all my vinyl. I want to show you something else. But today I want to show you my vinyl. And I want to get it done as neatly and organized as possible, but there'll be some flubbing around just because of the size of the piles here. But instead, usually I start with new vinyl, but today we're going to start something different. And some of you are going to roll your eyes, and I want people I want to be clear when I tell people, what I'm going to show you is purely for collectible sake. I mean, you can play it, and it sounds fine, but it's not, I'm not saying it's anything better than vinyl or CDs. It's just a nice collectible thing for bands you might like. So, we're going to show brand new cassettes that have been released into the stores. New cassettes. Like I might have said before, Dolby doesn't license their noise reduction systems anymore to audio products or audio tape anyways. It does audio products, obviously, but not audio tape. So it might have its own proprietary noise reduction. I don't know what the hell it is, but it sounds okay. But just for collectability's sake, I got the brand new release of Metallica's Black Album. I do have an original copy, but it's played to shit. Brand new copy of Metallica's Blackened Records. This just came in yesterday. This is brand new release. Stop the Presses. It's the 40th anniversary of The Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden. Not even opened yet. I just got it. I have an original copy that plays nice. I don't know if I'll open this. Like I said, this is just for collectability's sake. It's just nice to have. Different spine than the release normally. Different case. It's what it is. It's Number of the Beast, for God's sakes. I got a copy of Neil Young's Barn on cassette because it was there in the store. They didn't have the vinyl. I could have bought the CD, I suppose. But this was just too fun to give up, or to pass up anyways. It was Neil Young's Barn album, which is really, really good, I have to say. Ministry. Ministry's new album called Moral Hygiene in the green casing. I'll be honest with you, the only reason I bought this was because my Amazon vinyl was pushed back. They didn't have the CD in, and for some reason in Canada, Amazon Canada, all they had to offer on the day of release or in the few days following was the cassette. And hey, I have lots of cassette players, as maybe one day I'll do a video on. I've got lots, and more than I probably should have. But anyways, Ministry's Moral Hygiene, probably one of the best albums they've done in a long, 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 long time, in my opinion. Two really odd ones. This was a website only release, and this is the David Bowie Toy album on cassette, official Bowie. But that was only available on the website. So this I have another format, so I will keep this sealed. This is nice. And finally, there's a couple other ones, but I just pulled what I could find readily. Was the latest Duran Duran album, Future Past, maybe their best album since Rio. No, that's not true. One of their best albums. It's in their top 4 best albums. It's odd that they released such a good album right now in their life, but they did. Once again, I know it's green tape, but I didn't open it because I have other formats. But there you go. Now I have to make nice. You're gonna see the top of my head. You're gonna see the top of my head a lot today because I'm gonna have to make neat piles, just not to make awkward piles where vinyl is at risk of warping and bending. So there we go for that. Thank God I have all my hair. It'd be embarrassing if I had a bald patch. Cheers. I'm kidding. It's not that embarrassing to have a bald patch. It's what happens in life. Now let's go to new vinyl. So new vinyl. I'll try to be quick. I got the new reissue of Sabotage, Power of Night, which is not their best record, but I had to have it. Also, I have the new Tears for Fears record, and I'm not sure if I showed one last. Oh, I have this on cassette too. I didn't pull. Fuck. Because you guys are all mad now. I didn't pull the cassette to show you, right? But I'm a major Tears for Fears fan. I know I like a lot of stuff, but this is just a normal black vinyl of their new album called The Tipping Point. And this is the indie store exclusive green vinyl. Just cuz. Some of you might have heard it. A lot of you might have heard it. It is absolutely fantastic. And a lot of people feel that way. It's I can't even say it's one of their best albums because I don't know if they've done the two of them. I mean, when Roland did a few solo albums, Roland, was it Orzabal? When he's done a few solo albums under the name Tears for Fears that were But as far as Kurt Smith and Roland goes, when they're together, it's hard to say it's one of their best records because they've never done really a bad record. And this is the continuing story of Tears for Fears and how amazing they continue to be. There you go. This one is odd because this was sent to me by Amazon by accident, and I can't even remember what I was supposed to get. Oh yeah, I do remember. Oddly enough, it's the next record up. I ordered a record that I've been wanting for a while, and there's a music on vinyl pressing of it, and instead they sent me this, the Tedeschi Trucks Band Revelator. And in fine, I think this is their first album because I think I googled this one. Maybe, don't quote me on that one. I'm not a student of Tedeschi Trucks. And I can't remember what I was even going to say, but it's sealed. And I was going to say, in fine Amazon tradition, they said, keep it. We'll send you another copy of what you're looking for. Okay. This one I'm definitely passing along to someone, a friend or something like that, because it's not something. I just know a friend would enjoy it more than I would. So I will pass this along to someone. Who that is, I don't know. This is the album I did order and they didn't send to me, is Birth Control. Hoodoo Man, the German, I don't even know how to describe them. They get kind of thrown into that proggy prog world. It's a lot of blues guitar with some prog moments in it. It's more famous for the cover, I guess. But Birth Control was a mighty fine band, and this album in particular was really good. Like I said, unfortunately, this album is more known for the cover, but it is actually a really good album. So finally, they did actually send me the music on vinyl pressing that I wanted, but now I have that and a Tedeschi Trucks album. I think, nope, I got a couple more, sorry. What else did I get? Oh, that's a thrift store find. My bad. I just got this because I had a gift certificate. It was my birthday recently, and there's a store in town that send you coupons via email if it's your birthday. So I said, thank you. I'll go in and buy this for no apparent reason. Just when I need a quick fix for this band is Pink Floyd. This is the last greatest hits, A Foot in the Door. It's kind of like an introduction to Pink Floyd, but it's nice. Nice track lineup. Just when I can't decide what I want to listen to. This will do. It's got everything from, it's got everything from See Emily Play to High Hopes and Learning to Fly and stuff like that. So everything and everything in between. So there you go. Happy to get that one. Last pile of new. If new vinyl's not your bag, you can applaud now. Because I am almost a new vinyl. Bruce Springsteen's Letter to You, and I don't even know why I waited this long for it. All my friends were saying, what do you think of your Springsteen? I'm like, I don't have it yet. It's on the list to come. I just didn't get it, and I didn't get it. And my friends are saying, what are you doing? It's amazing. I'm trying not to say too much today, but I'm failing miserably. And I'm a huge Springsteen fan. It just never got high enough in the queue of albums I wanted. And Amazon had this on an open, their warehouse deals. Someone had returned it, but it was still sealed. No damage to it. It was half the price. So I took it, and yeah, it's a great album. It's modern day The Boss good or great. I don't think you can compare it to, Darkness on the Edge of Town and those albums like that. But for modern day, for a 70 whatever year old Springsteen, this is fantastic. So, I get things when I get things. This I got because it's this was the version that was overseen by him himself before he died. I finally got the remixed version of Purple Rain with the poster inside. This is the one that was done by Prince himself. It was overseen by Prince and got his stamp of approval. And I was worried that it got his stamp of approval while he was high on prescription drugs. That's horrible to say. But well, it's I will say it's better than any clean copy I do have. I have done comparisons, and this one wins hands down. So it's cool to say you have Purple Rain sold billions of copies, so it's not cool to say you have an original, but it beats any original copy that I've ever heard. Let's go for this one. This is the aforementioned Ministry. Just came in last week. It was released, I don't know how long ago, a month or two ago, and finally it showed up on vinyl after I ordered it months and months ago. Moral Hygiene, like I said on cassette, it was one of their best albums they've done in a long time. A Boff. Last one, and it's an odd one. A Boff, formerly of the band Immortal, who I'm a big fan of, especially the album Sons of Northern Darkness. But this is his latest solo album entitled Death Reaver? Dread Reaver. It's got a massive poster in it, which I'll never use. But his solo albums are on par with any classic Immortal albums. If you're into this kind of stuff. I guess he was immortal. Some might argue that he did write a lot of the music that we all liked about the band, although that band's still going and apparently doing okay music. A Bath. I have all those solo albums and I've never been disappointed yet. All right. You know what? I'll start this off for vinyl finds, thrift stores, etc., because I just ended with a kind of black metal band-ish. It was Mayhem, The Mysterious Storm Satanas. This is their best-known record. How I found this in a thrift store, I will never know. This is their first proper record they ever made, if you're into black metal. But, yeah, I can't believe I found this at a thrift store. go figure. And I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot because there's not a lot of people I know probably out there into this kind of stuff. But I mean, if you're into black metal, that's probably one of your top 3 records that you have to have in your collection, supposedly. Okay. All right. Let me adjust my cushion. This is really cool. I found I have another audiophile version of this album that's DBX encoded. That sounds amazing because I have a DBX decoder in my stereo system. But I found a Nautilus half-speed master series or super disc of Dreamboat Annie. So I have 2 audiophile versions of this record, one DBX, one non-DBX, and one might argue the validity of the Nautilus presses, but the half-speed master series by Nautilus, this is a great pressing. So I have a DBX one, which sounds amazing, and this one, I'm not going to say no to it. And then oddly enough, I have another audiophile version of their second record. Well, what was supposed to be their, actually, well, you guys all know the story. Dreamboat Annie came out, and then they had arguments with their label, and then they had to release an album called Magazine, which was kind of semi-official, not really. That's a long story. There's an original, and then they re-recorded it. So for all intents and purposes, this is their second record. Little Queen. Audiophile version from CBS. It's from their Master Sound audiophile pressing label. I found, I have other versions on this, like I have Springsteen's Born to Run and a few others, and they're always really good. So I found another audiophile version of Dreamboat Annie and Little Queen. And after that, to me, the Heart catalog gets a bit dodgy, so I'm happy to have those 2. Okay. An original pressing of Jane Birkin and Serge Gainsbourg. It's a French version, too. Some of these thrift store finds go way before Christmas time. I just have not done videos, so I think I might have posted these on Twitter, or on Instagram. So some of you might have seen these and wonder what the hell are you doing. I just haven't shown these yet. But look at that. I'm trying to hold comment on these things, just so I don't take up too much time. This is a very rare psych album, which I don't know much about. And I was going to investigate it before I did the video, and I just ran out of time. I know it's worth quite a lot. It's called A Slice of Cake. I think it's an all-female band doing somewhat psychedelic music. What is it? It's on Decca Records. It's in the shrink even. If you know something about this, let me know. I'll listen to it by the time you leave a comment, but I'm just happy. Anytime you find kind of supposed rare psych albums, it's kind of a time to rejoice and be happy, because they don't turn up very often. Okay, another one that's really odd. This was found last week at a thrift store. Is the Scorpions, their first album called Lonesome Crow, but as you can see by this, it's the original German Brain Records pressing. The one you most commonly find here in Canada is the red vinyl pressing. Oddly enough, you find the red vinyl pressing more than you find the polygram later pressing on black vinyl. And the Brain Records pressing rarely turns up in our parts. I found one for $1.99. I got a slew of metal records, and I'm going to get some really cool 90s alternative stuff. And then I got everything, everything to show you today. By the way, if you don't want to hang around for all the video, it's going to be a long one, and I'm proud to say it's going to be a long one. You know what? Stop it. Come back, because I got the last record I'm going to show you is as good as the first one. I'm very proud to say. Let's go to vinyl. Mastodon, Crack the Sky. I've been finding a lot of new vinyl, as you'll see, like modern day pressings that I've said this before, and I'll say it one more time, and then I'll never say it again. It's those kids. I'm guessing. No offense to anyone intended. I'm guessing it's those teenagers who got, when vinyl, the comeback was all the rage, and they got their turntables, their suitcase turntables, or something like that. Some of them even got nice, probably hand-me-down turntables. And they bought they bought their 7, 8 records, and then now they're getting rid of them. They're donating them because I'm finding so many modern day pressings. It's not even funny. I'm having to leave some because I just could care less. But this was one of them. Is Mastodon Crack the Sky? I think this and Leviathan is probably their best records in my opinion. And I just I don't know why I never bought this on vinyl, but now I have it. I found a really nice UK pressing of British Steel by Judas Priest. Very nice. Like, I've always had a copy. I have my original copy I had when I was a teenager. And it's time to retire. It's time to put it out of its misery. Shoot bullets through it. I got a brand new UK pressing of British Steel. I think several parts of Southern America and Eastern America, like Michigan and stuff like that, will know this band other than Canada, is Triumph. I found a nice copy of Allied Forces. I've been in a really big, major Triumph mood lately, so although I have this record in several formats or different pressings, I'm hoping someone might want this, like a friend or something. Striper. I don't discriminate. I've said this before. This is the Yellow and Black Attack by Striper. I'm not sure where this falls in their catalog. It's probably number 1 or 2, record 1 or 2. I'm not a lyric person. I've said this before, but I always feel like it's odd. You feel like you have to justify owning a Christian rock record. But with Striper, they're one of the only bands that I can ignore the lyrics, and I just kind of always like the music for for this kind of music, anyways. So the message doesn't really bother me. The Yellow and Black Attack by Striper. And I do realize the message is important to a lot of people. It's just not to I. 2 AC/DC records, Highway to Hell and Powerage. When I find AC/DC records at thrift stores, it's always these two. And I mean always these two. I find some other ones then and again, but what I'm saying is that I can't tell you times I found these 2 records at thrift stores. It's a lot if you go back and watch my videos. Caius and The Circus Leaves Town. I found this one the same day as the Mastodon record. What's this? This is I don't know if it's an original pressing or not. I've never investigated it. It has no barcode on it, which might lead me to believe it's maybe an original pressing. I love Caius. Never had this record on vinyl. But how's that? Pretty amazing. Cinderella, second album, Long Cold Winter. Like I said, this is stuff I already have. I don't have like the Caius and the Mastodon, but I've always had a copy of this one. But you see, I've never seen this in a thrift store, I don't believe, before. And this will go to someone in my life, I'm sure. I'm talking a lot, so I need to drink. I'm sorry. I even have a backup drink here. So I have a safety drink, as I'm going to call it today. All right. I think this was all in one big haul. An original pressing of Soul Asylum's Grave Dancers Union. Of course, probably their big, well, it is their biggest record with Runaway Train, but I like Black Gold and Somebody to Shove. My favorite songs off this record, but an original pressing of Grave Dancers Union. Pretty exciting. The Meat Puppets. I've never found a Meat Puppets at a thrift store before, but Monsters. It looks to be like an original SST Records pressing, but I don't know. I have not investigated this one to see what pressing it is, but yeah, Meat Puppets at a thrift store. I've got some good hauls. This all kind of goes to... I found a couple Wax Trax records, which to me is maybe sometimes the most exciting things I could ever find at a thrift store. But this is the split My Life the Thrill Kill Cult and KMFDM on Wax Trax. The Days of Swine and Roses and Naive by KMFDM. It's a split 12-inch they did on Wax Trax records. What number is this? Wax Trax 9160, if you're keeping score at home once again. Bel Canto. you can tell this is all from one person because they're all kind of similar records. Bel Canto, Dreaming Girl. It's a 12-inch, but don't really find Bel Canto records so often in the wild. I was very happy to find Nitzer Ebb or Nitzer Ebb. This is the single for Lightning Man, but it's got the best remix ever of all time, and that's the Industry versus the Ebb mix. I don't care what night I'm DJing, what kind of night I'm doing, I'm going to play that song in the club. Every time. The Teardrops Explodes. Of course, I believe this is Julian Cope's first band. Kilimanjaro. Probably their most well-known record anyways. I've never owned any Teardrop Explodes, I don't believe, on vinyl. But I know that's the one to have if you're going to have a movie by them. I'll tell you why I said movie in a second. Why you would have or if you had a record by them. How's that for mumbling? I am a world-class mumbler. I saw this and I just liked the cover. It looked so weird. And it's a band called them. I didn't know what it was. It was a band called The Movies. Some of you may know them. I might have known the name, but it's an album called India. And it's hard to describe the music. Some say it's, some descriptions say it's like new wave prog. I don't know what the fuck it is. But I played it because I just love the cover so much. And it's a really good record. It's one of those times where your gut instinct pays off. So The Movies, album called India. And like I said, one of those times it just looked interesting and it's paid off because I found a really good record that I'm going to hang on to. All right. Here's one that I've never found at a thrift store. It's one of those ones that you want to poop your pants. Sorry, that's kind of bad. That's horrible. It's one of those ones where you want to pee your pants. Let's see, that's better. Number one than number two. I have never, ever seen this at a thrift store, and it's an original Elektra Records pressing of The Cure, Standing on a Beach, the singles. This is an original Elektra Records pressing, gatefold, worth a pretty penny. I have the repress of this. I've never owned an original pressing. So you can tell this was all one person because it's all kind of vaguely similar. But yeah, how's that? This might be my screenshot. That was one of my favorite finds I've had in a long time. See, Psychedelic Furs, first album, UK pressing. I don't know why I've never had this on vinyl. It's got Sister Europe and India, two of my favorite songs by them. I don't know why. It's been a mainstay on CD and cassette, but nice UK copy. I meant to bundle this with the other one. I'm sorry. Another Soul Asylum record. This is one of their twin tone records, an original pressing of While You Were Out. I'm not that familiar with their twin tone catalog, so I can't tell you how good it is or how bad it is, but I'm going to pick this up every day of the week that I find it. I'm taking it home. Okay, now we're into some other stuff that wasn't kind of related to this stuff. I got a few records. I'm just going to try to, for the sake of time, kind of maybe group these ones, and I'll maybe reserve comment because I don't think these records need comment. A copy of The Queen 2, The Queen, their second album, an original Canadian Elektra Records pressing. An original Canadian copy of News of the World. And an original pressing of, I'm not sure if the track listing on this one is, I think it's different than the one you can get now in stores, the re-release version. I think that one has more songs. But this is the original pressing of the Queen Greatest Hits. The Queen, I keep on saying the Queen. Queen's Greatest Hits. There. Oh, I got one more Queen. Another copy of A Night at the Opera. So I found, 4 Queen records. I think there might be more coming up here. I got... Hang out with me for a second. This is the absolute cleanest copy I've ever owned of this. I've seen a lot of copy of this come through my hands. This is an original Harvest Records pressing from Canada. But it's the cleanest I've ever seen one be. The cover and the vinyl. and I played it, and it's absolutely spotless sounding, absolutely quiet, amazing. And you want this record for the song Echoes, but one of these days. And I found a copy of Pink Floyd's Metal. Absolutely, like I said, an original Harvest Records pressing. And I don't know if you need to see that, but yeah, I mean, it's the cleanest copy that I have. I have the re-released version I think is great, and I can't remember if that actually came out as re-released. I could be full of shit on this one. Anyways, this one's amazing, and I'm keeping this one because it's insanely fun. Pink Floyd records this clean, because usually people rolled joints on them and other things, and you don't find them in such great condition. But another clean copy of the Final Cut. Blah. I'm not really a fan of this record. Some could argue it's good, but yeah. I mean, the Fletcher Memorial Home is on every compilation album they do. Yeah. It's a Roger Waters solo record dressed up as a Pink Floyd record, and not very good. And I hope you can hear me, by the way, because I'm not yelling today, or I'm trying to speak at a normal level. Cheers, everyone. What are we at here? All right. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. But I gotta preface this with something, because I have another copy here somewhere, and I don't want to act the fool here. But I think this is the one with every insert, which I don't know if I've ever found yeah, this is the one I found, and it's got every single insert in it. It's got the postcards, no postcards, stickers. It's got the poster, 2 posters. I can't remember what else was in it, but it's got every insert. And of course, whoever owned this was very anal with their vinyl. I assume it's the same person because it was the same place. Just quiet and clean and nice, and it's not the best one I've ever owned. There's some other better quality ones, but every insert. That is absolutely rare as hen's teeth. I'm not sure if I showed this before. I might have, maybe not. It's a Japanese pressing of Atom Heart Mother. Go figure. Not my favorite Pink Floyd record, but yeah, Japanese. How's that? There might be some more Pink Floyd coming up. I can't remember. I found some Rush records. I found a really nice. A lot of this is going to replace my current records, because these are better. These are upgrades, as one would say. Carrots of Steel, which is a very misunderstood record. Not misunderstood. It's a very adventurous records. It's a very adventurous record that a lot of people have a hard time getting into. The band themselves say they have a hard time getting into it, or understanding how they did on this record. I find it's an incredibly great listen. It's one of my favorite ones. Another copy of Exit Stage Left, really nice condition copy. I don't need another copy of that one. I don't really need another copy of this one, but it's so clean. It's almost a shame to give up. But 2112, I've got the re-released version with the hologram on it, which sounds amazing. But this is an original Canadian copy that sounds really nice and is really clean. So I don't know. I gotta stop hanging on to multiple versions of things. I'm running out of room. Is the problem. I know there's more Beatles stuff, but in that same hall of the Pink Floyd stuff, was a copy of the White Album. Very nice, clean copy, purple label, so that would be late 70s, maybe early 80s, late 70s, but very nice sounding. Anyways, this one has all the inserts as well. So whoever owned these records before, well done for keeping your vinyl nice and clean. Say what you want about this band. I grew up with this one, my sister playing it incessantly, and she went to see them in my city, and I think they played the stadium here on this tour. Was Supertramp's Breakfast in America, but this is yet another audiophile pressing. If you can see that. Part of A&M's audiophile series. Heavy vinyl. But My sister used to play this a lot. She was much older than I. But it is a good record. It's of its time, but it's a very good record. Oh my God. I got too many albums by this band that I'm so hit and miss on. I'm not a huge fan of this band. I think I've said this before. I am of certain periods. But when you find stuff that's nice and clean, you don't turn it down. Because other people are looking for these records I can pass them along to or do trades. Was a copy of Metamorphosis by the Rolling Stones. What is it? I don't know what country this is from. America, maybe? But it's one of those TV greatest hits records of the Rolling Stones. And in fact, it's on TV Records, an RCA special product. That's weird. Unedited original versions of the Rolling Stones greatest hits. I'm looking at the track listing. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the greatest track listing. A copy of Goat Head Soup. Was this gatefold? Original gatefold pressing. I don't need another copy of this. I use this for trade bait, I guess, is another copy of Big Hits, High Tide, and Green Grass. But I have to say, for $1.99, for a nice clean copy, this one's in mono. Oh, wow. It's mono, but I way prefer this one over the first greatest hits record, if I had to take a pick. And this is one of my favorite Rolling Stones compilations because it covers a period that I do like a lot, is that 70s, early 80s. Because that's the time I kind of found out about the Stones. But it's a compilation called Rewind. I have this on cassette and CD, and I wanted a copy on vinyl, but at a reasonable price, but I found it at a thrift store. It's like Brown Sugar, Miss You, Waiting on a Friend, Angie, Tumbling Dice. Great track listing. Not a dud on it, I don't think. See, here's one of those. Here, I'm gonna grab a couple of these as examples of modern day pressings that I don't know why people donate these, but they do. And I know the name of these bands, but I can't really tell you much about their music. I just haven't gotten around to playing this one. Deer Tick, the Black Dirt Sessions. A lot of you might know Deer Tick. I know them from when I was owning record stores or managing record stores. I used to have them. My buyer would buy these records and people would like them and buy them. Don't know anything about it. Bonnie Prince Billy, I know a little bit more about, but I don't know this album. I See a Darkness by Bonnie Prince Billy. This a band I do know a lot more about is La Tigra. And this is an original pressing, as I found out on whatever record label it's on. But I found a copy of La Tigra. And actually, I found a copy of a 12-inch single, too, in this haul. Where is it? I don't know where it's in here, but I just didn't want to... the cover is a bit wrecked, so I tossed the record, and I have the 12-inch in here. But La Tigra, some of you might be La Tigra fans. They're just fine by me. In fact, that's one of those ones I'm going to keep. One of the rare... bands, well, I could say that's a newer pressing, but it's not. But one of those kind of bands that I'm actually going to keep. Yeah, let's go to some more here. Herbie Hancock Sextet. Sextant. What's on my mind, people? Sextant. But I have an SACD version of this, which sounds fantastic. This one's the album before Headhunters. This one is a lot more experimental sounding, a little bit more free jazz sounding, as opposed to Headhunters, which had a lot of funk elements into it. But still a mighty, mighty fine record. Nice clean copy of this. I've never had this on vinyl, but I do now. The Who Sell Out. A nice upgrade for me on Decca Records. Very nice upgrade that I was very happy to find. An original UK pressing, oddly enough, of just Depeche Mode Construction Time Again. I might have shown this in another video. I don't think I have, though. It's in my pile to show, so I'm going to trust myself that I haven't shown you this. But a nice original Mute Records pressing. Stum 13, which is what the catalog number is on this one. So supposedly the 13th release Mute Records is done, but nice original copy. Alice Cooper Goes to Hell. I've never had this on vinyl. Once again, I do now. I'm going to reserve comment on some of these. Very happy to find this one. LL Cool J radio. I'm trying to see. It is an original pressing. One of the early albums on Def Jam Records, produced by Rick Rubin. Of course, I Need a Beats on here. What else? I Can't Live Without My Radio, which has been heavily sampled by some bands I love, but a nice original Def Jam pressing of LL Cool J's Radio. And the Blade Runner soundtrack, just cuz. Okay, more goodness coming up. This is one of those 2-for-1 records, I think it is. Is it? No, maybe not. I don't remember, but I don't know. I don't know this band very well. I just bought it. It was some of these finds came in dry spells where a lot of record where if you're having a good spell of finding good records, you would never pick something like this up because there's other records that will take your money. But this happened during a dry period, so I bought whatever might pique my interest, take home and listen to that I haven't heard before. But Wet Willie, Keep on Smiling. Yeah, it's Wet Willie. It's what it is. George Harrison, Living in a Material World. I'm going to do some jazz records, and then I got some other. I'm looking at the pile here. Amazing stuff. I'm going to try to do this in the next 20 minutes. Okay. An original Blue Note pressing of Kenny Burrell. Midnight Blue, sorry. Yeah. I found these jazz records all in one pile. Alice Coltrane with Pharoah Sanders. Original Impulse Records pressing. Duke Ellington, The Cosmic Scene Spaceman. I really have come to appreciate Duke Ellington. So he's not the big band person one might think. There's a lot more to the guy. And the thing about Duke Ellington, he grew with the times, and he made albums with John Coltrane and other people that, like I said, he kept on going with the times. So don't ever think that he's just a big band person. Milt Jackson and Wes Montgomery, an original pressing on Riverside Records. Riverside to me had Bill Evans, so that's how I know Riverside Records, because I'm a big Bill Evans collector. But nice album of that one. Cannonball Adderley, live at Operation Breadbasket. Cannonball Adderley Quintet. I can't say I'm a massive. Oh, I know a whole lot about Cannonball Adderley. I know he was on. I believe he was on Kind of Blue by Miles Davis. I believe so. I could be full of shit on that one too. I'm probably wrong on that one. Okay, those are the jazz records I got. I got Rory Gallagher's first band called Taste. This is one of those 2-for-1 deals where you get On the Boards and then you get Taste. I think this is a German copy on Polydor Records that I found. Yeah, German pressing. I love Taste. I think Rory Gallagher is a really underrated, underappreciated is the word I'm looking for, artist, in my opinion. The band's The Last Waltz. I have a version of this that I've never shown you guys, and I just realized that when I was looking at this record earlier today, is I have an amazing the modern day re-release anniversary edition of The Last Waltz, which I've never shown you guys, which was a thrift store find, and I have never shown it. Maybe I will next video. But a really nice original pressing of The Last Waltz. Okay, this is a weird record that you might know this person if you're a wrestling fan, and I'm going to try to keep this very brief. There's a wrestler called Sweet Daddy Siki from the 60s and 70s. He wrestled in Canada, America, all over the world, Japan. And for some reason in Canada, he made a country record. And it's worth quite a few pennies, to put it lightly. It's a kind of a valuable record. And I not found one copy, and I'm always looking for it. I found one copy that was in a video a few years ago. It was kind of beat up, and I was happy to have that copy. But I found 2 insanely clean copies within a week. Sweet Daddy Siki squares off with country music. Those are both him, by the way. But a wrestler, an African-American wrestler playing country music back then was probably a rarity, I'm guessing, but 2 copies of it. That's just weird how that works. You never see it, and then Electric Flag, a long time coming. I think, honestly, some of you might just hate me for this, but please, just my video, my opinion. Electric Flag is probably better known for their albums than for their album covers than their music. The music's good, don't get me wrong, but their album covers are much better. Oh, another modern day pressing was Young the Giant, Home of the Strange. I haven't played this, and I don't know Young the Giant. I like new music, don't get me wrong. I just haven't heard. I know the name Young the Giant. I've not heard their music. My second copy I found of Bad Religion, How Can Hell Be Any Worse? I found I found another copy in another video. Another copy I found at a thrift store. Talking Heads, Speaking in Tongues. Camel, the Snow Goose, one of the Camel's better records, one of their top 3 records. I do like Camel for all the self-indulgence of Camel and prog bands of that time. It's one of their better records, anyways. And a nice clean copy of Tom Petty's Southern Accents. A great record. I keep on finding upgrades, and I want to get to the point where I'm having just the cleanest catalog of Tom Petty records, because there's very rarely a bad Tom Petty record, but Southern Accents is a really good record. All right, I'm going to take a final drink of coffee, and then I got to go to another drink, as we are doing this in one take today, as always. Okay. Jello Biafra, spoken word album, No More Cocoons. I had this on cassette, but this is an original Fringe Records pressing who licensed it through Alternative Tentacles, who Jello Biafra used to own, that record label. But spoken word record, someone, I don't know, why would they donate that? Split Enz, Mental Notes, one of my favorite Split Enz albums, as it has the song, I think it has Bold as Brass on it, I believe so. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. Spirit, the family that plays together. A nice upgrade of this record. 3 Aerosmith records I found. Classics Live. The Greatest Hits. And Permanent Vacation, which I don't know why I've never had this on vinyl, but now I do. It's not my favorite Aerosmith, but it's got Rag Doll on it. The dude looks like a lady, which I'm kind of sick of hearing. It's one of those songs I never really have to hear again. Pete Hamill. Now, I'm brain farting. Was Pete Hamill in the Soft Machine? Or it's one of those bands like that he was in. He was in another prog band that I'm just brain farting on. The minute I turn the video off, I'm only doing it because you guys are watching me, and I'm kind of nervous. But I'm brain farting as what his original band was. Shit. I found 2 albums by Billy Cobham, Total Eclipse, and I found an incredible clean copy of Spectrum. Whenever I find clean copies of Spectrum, I pick it up and I go to a friend of mine and I say, "Do you own Spectrum?" And they say, "No." I'm like, "Take this record and listen to it. It's got Tommy Bolin on it, just freestyling on it. He's amazing on this record. Amazing record. If you not heard this record, it's amazing." And then, I don't know why I bought this. Van Morrison and the Chieftains. I'm sure I'll be in a mood one day to listen to this record. Just because. I don't know. If it's there, I'll buy it. How's this? This is a fucking weird one. Oh, no. Now my dirty tongue's coming out here. How the fuck is this for finding this at a thrift store? Shel Silverstein, Boy Named Sue. I think I've found one other Shel Silverstein record at a thrift store. But that is a rare thing to find. Just amazing to find this, produced by Chet Atkins. This is a reissue of this record, but I think it's like an 80s pressing of this record. It cost $5.75 when it came out. In the shrink is a nice copy of Marty Robbins' Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs. Probably one of the better country records I'll ever say I own. The Electric Prunes, which is you could say is a nice find, but this is kind of the start of their overtly Christian music period. And it's good. I prefer the other Electric Prunes albums, but not because of the religious aspect to it, just because they started to get a little bit meh for me. We're trading coffee for a Coke Zero. Cheers, everyone. Getting to the last couple piles here of used. No, I'm not. Fuck. How much time I got? I'm gonna try this. Oh god, I gotta speed through this. The T-Bones, Everyone's Gone to the Moon and Other Trips. Just a weird record to find. Don't know anything about it. Just kind of a cool record. How about a 70s skate? You know, when skateboarding was cool in the 70s? This is one of those weird TV advertised albums all about, and every song on here is I don't know, I get a rounds on there. So you kind of get the vibe of what this is about. But that was kind of just neat to see as a time capsule of the 70s. Otis Redding, a history of Otis Redding. I think I have another double greatest hits that I showed you last video. I may have. The Chambers Brothers, People Get Ready. Some really weird records I don't know anything about, but this is on Vanguard Records, which I kind of usually trust. This is a Shep, Have You Gone Bald Inside Your Head? Springsteen's Tunnel of Love. Kind of a bog standard find there. The Plastic Caster Blues Band. This is on Polydor. And I don't know anything about it. It just looks weird. This one is cool. This is The Awful Disclosures of Maria Monk. It's worth quite a lot of dollar. It's just a weird record. It's on Phonodisc in Canada, and I don't know who they license this through. But a rare one. The Incredible String Band, the Big Huge, is it? Yeah. I like me some Incredible String Band when I just want to chill. 2 albums by a band I've never heard of. And just the covers look too, and I haven't played them yet. The covers look too cool to pass up. This is Willie and the Red Rubber Band. I know nothing about them. And then another record by them called We're Coming Up. Just weird. I'm sure maybe it's bog standard blues rock, but okay. A couple albums by King Curtis, Instant Groove and Country Soul. Here's that. This is that another greatest hits by Otis Redding. Why am I finding so many Otis Redding records recently on Volt Records, which was a subsidiary of I can't remember now. It'll come to me. Anyways, the Dictionary of Soul, complete and unbelievable. David Crosby, If I Could Only Remember My Name. A very highly regarded record. Grandmaster Funk and the Furious 5 Greatest Hits. A nice, very nice clean copy of Asia by Steely Dan. B.B. King, Guess Who? Some blues records. Oh, a nice copy of 2001 soundtrack, Space Odyssey. Bog standard find, clean copy of Dire Straits' Brother in Arms. Don't need to tell you that. Another bog standard find, The Beatles' Rock and Roll Music Volume 2. There's some good records coming up. Don't you turn that dial. Don't. Or come back. I'm glad you're back. Thank you for that. Joe Walsh, The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get. It has Rocky Mountain Way on it. Copy of Let's Dance by David Bowie. By the way, we're still into thrift store finds if you're joining me late. And by the way, if you're joining me, thank you. The Adventures of Pac-Man, just memories of my youth, cool records. Maria McKee of Lone Justice, I think it's her first solo album. I like Lone Justice and Maria McKee, so I was happy to find that one. Joy of Cooking, a lot of you might know this band. It's kind of one of those albums that it seems to be cool to have now again. Okay. Focus, Ship of Memories on Sire Records. The Quicksilver Messenger Service Anthology double record. A really nice upgrade copy of the OJ's Backstabbers. That's a nice upgrade copy for me. I really love that record. Savoy Brown, Street Corner Talking. Nice clean copy of that. And this is a really nice, I wish I could time to show you. It's an original gold label pressing of Strange Days by... Did I ever show you? Oh, man, I got to go back and look at my videos because I found a box set. A very, very valuable Doors box set I found a few months back. This is a very nice copy of Strange Days. It might be it is a very early pressing of, but it doesn't mean much because I find early Electro Records pressings not to be that great. I'm not going to show you that because who the fuck needs to see that? Another couple newer records pressings by bands I don't know. Moonface on Jaguar Records. I know the record label, Jaguar. I think Black Mountain's on that label. This album I do know. I can't believe I found it at a thrift store. Canadians might know this record. Rheostatics, music inspired by the Group of Seven. All right, one more pile. I think we're gonna call this. Okay. If you're watching this whole thing, thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you've watched half of this and you've come back to watch another half or a quarter of it, thank you. It really means a lot to me. It's you guys that make me keep on wanting to make videos with the nice comments and messages. Thank you. Seriously. Anyways, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan soundtrack. Why? I don't know. I just bought it. How many? Oh, fuck. Like another, like I need more of these. I know, wah me. Another copy of Ziggy Stardust. This is the mid-price Best Buy series on RCA. It's kind of like a gold yellow label. Another copy of Aladdin Sane. And another copy of Changes One Bowie. Oh yeah, here's the second copy of The Dark Side of the Moon I found. This one only has a couple inserts in it. But I found two copies of Dark Side of the Moon. Nazareth's Greatest Hits. I love Nazareth. I have a double best of on vinyl that came out many years ago, which I prefer over this one. But Nazareth, the band, still on Canadian classic rock radio, you will hear a Nazareth song once an hour. I promise you that. And April Wine. And Bryan Adams. And Streetheart and Harlequin. Oh yeah, there's the second copy of Queen Night at the Opera I found. So I found two copies of this. Public Image Limited live in Tokyo. In my top 5 favorite bands of all time. I do not like this album, and I never have from the minute I got it when I was a teenager. It's a really half-ass live band he's got going on in this one. Don't like it at all. He's got Martin Atkins on drums, but the rest of the band just can't reproduce the music competently enough. They didn't even change it up to make it sound different but good. It's just a bad live album. And some of you might like it. I've always hated that record. Van Morrison Astral Weeks. This is one of those rare pressings that is the transitional period of Warner Records when they were being run by... Someone bought them. And they merged and they started... anyways, they released a few albums under the merged Warner label with... I can't remember who bought them. After an hour of straight talking, you'd forget your facts too, you know. Just saying. A nice original gold records pressing. This label here, the gold label Warner pressings in Canada, top notch. Of Tupelo Honey. I've never had this record on vinyl by Van Morrison. I got some more coming up with Van Morrison, I know that. A really nice copy of Joe Cocker. I'm not the biggest Joe Cocker fan, but I guess that's trade bait, I guess. Curtis Mayfield. I have never heard this Curtis Mayfield record, but I've never been disappointed by a Curtis Mayfield record. This one is called, Heartbeat. What a bland title, Curtis. I'm sure it's a good record. Once again, I have not heard that one yet. A nice bog standard copy of Graceland. Whenever you see this, like Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits, you kind of just pick them up because people always want this record. But a really nice original copy of that one. Isaac Hayes, Shaft. Not one, two. This might be my 2 copies of Shaft by Isaac Hayes on vinyl. I'm gonna have to pick the best one and get rid of the other one. The Cream of Clapton, greatest hits record from, this must have been from the late 80s. Yeah, but it goes up to what record? It goes up to his Behind the Sun record, I think. Anyways, the Cream of Clapton compilation. The UK pressing of Vital Idol by Billy Idol. It came out with a different cover here in North America and other countries, but this was the UK cover. Very nice find. It's all remixes, or like original remixes of those songs. Here we go. Here's a theme coming up that some people will love and some people will be like. The Flying Burrito Brothers, I found a whack of their records in one haul. This is Close Up the Honky Tonk. The Honky Tonks. 1968 to 1972 double record by the Flying Burrito Brothers. Of course, if you don't know the Flying Burrito Brothers, there's Graham Parsons. I know there's a bunch of others that'll come to my mind. But I think Graham Parsons being the most recognized. Oh, yeah, it says right here. Sorry. How about I just get this out? Because I got a lot of albums coming up by them. Chris Hillman, obviously, who went on to be in the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Graham Parsons, obviously. Bernie Ledden, who went on to be in the Eagles' first lineup. Gene Clark, obviously. People know Gene Clark, don't they? He was in the Byrds, wasn't he? The Flying Burrito Brothers. The Gilded Palace of Sin. The Flying Burrito Brothers, Airborne. The Flying Burrito Brothers, Flying Again, which I'm sure was probably a reformation kind of comeback record or attempted comeback record or something like that. Oh, shit. The record fell out. Sorry. Graham Parsons, Sleepless Nights. Graham Parsons, The Flying Burrito Brothers, Sleepless Nights, as it's called. Oh, here's the Van Morrison album I didn't put with the other one, but it's Them, Van Morrison's band, Them, before he went solo. Of course, you might know this for Gloria and a few other songs. A mid-price, very clean copy. I'm going to keep, this is my keeper copy, because not always original pressings aren't always the best. I've said this before and I'll say it again. But a nice clean copy of Jefferson Airplane Takes Off in the mid-price. This is the kind of one like the Bowie had, the Ziggy Stardust had on it. That's my keeper copy of that record. Are we done? We're done! Oh! Oh my! Why did I end it on the Flying Burrito Brothers? I have no idea why. I know a lot of people like the Flying Burrito Brothers. They kind of invented country rock, I think. It wouldn't have been my choice to end off, and I'm going to have to investigate them because I don't know their catalog too well. I know Graham Parsons. I wanted over an hour, and I got over an hour. My longest video ever, everyone. I talked for an hour straight. And I still have, right there is, I'll take a photo and post on Instagram, like 125, I'm guessing, records that I had to pick through that maybe I'll show you in a different video. And like looking around here, I found a lot of kind of music-related things. Like kind of dead format stuff, like I'm really into mini discs. I found some mini disc players, portable ones. I've added to my Walkman collection. I call them Walkmans, but anything portable cassette player collection. There's some really nice ones I found at thrift stores. I've got a whole stereo setup upstairs somewhere now, or another whole stereo setup somewhere else. Long story. Somewhere else. And in that I found turntables recently and some really nice stereo equipment. But my whole thing is now trying to get rid of stereo equipment. So I've kept what I want to keep and now the rest I'm going to get rid of for space issues. Thank you, everyone. I so appreciate everyone watching, and I'm just kind of happy with myself for talking this long. And if you've watched a lot of this video, I'm happy. Thank you, everyone. This has been Nazz Nomad, aka David Michael. Take care, everyone.